I don't know. I don't know. Troll Warlord? Possibly. Has a root against the Void Spirit. The mischance against the Templar Assassin is really helpful. He can man fight against the Underlord, but they are going to go for the Morphling. Jickery Morphling in this game. I think if you had to give it to me, I would have probably said that it would have been a little bit better for them to go for something like a Troll Warlord. As I said, I like it a little bit more. Dominates the lane against the Underlord. It's honestly a really hard lane for Underlord to deal with, as you can't protect yourself from a Troll Warlord building up the Swerver stacks on you. And Snapfire can get stuff done occasionally, like to help you. Scatter Blast damage is nice, and the minus armor and turn around, Firestorm, yada yada yada. But again, comes down to what Rekonix are thinking, how they're feeling, and I think the comfort as well. I don't know if I've really seen Jickeroy play much Troll, and to be honest with you, if you're going to play Morphling, Jickeroy Morphling seems to be one of the better options. Now, Eisen TA, obviously one of the best TAs in the game, goes for the trifecta, right? The Triforce, as we call it. Dragonlance, Blink, Desolator, and then you just continue to put on the pressure on your opponents. There are some decent ways of dealing with the Templar Assassin. First of all, FBZ with the Bulwark can eat those melt strikes, prevent the TA from hitting your supports, for example, anybody else, right? You can pop your arena, get your spear going, use your Bulwark during your arena, prevent, you know, those right clicks, those ranged right clicks from taking place. It doesn't eat Starfire ulti, but it's okay. Against the TA, you will find some amount of E for it. And we typically don't really see that part of the hero really played that much, is that Bulwark defense, right? The shield facing away from opponents. You can really make yourself equal in that regard in a lot of team fights. Now, who do I think is going to win this game based on the draft? Well, that really depends on how the Morphling does. Now, I'm going to be honest, not a big fan of picking the Morphling into the Rapido Underlord, into Ken. You get a silence on the Aghanim Scepter for Ken, and you know, it's really hard to play. You can't really shift down. I think there are going to be some times where this Morphling gets caught off guard. There's a lot of things that can just catch you out of position, unaware, and I think that ultimately the Radiant side here is going to have a hard time with some damage at certain points, especially once the dire timings have come online. They're very overlapping timings, right? The Aghanim Scepter for the Void Spirit should be coming up at the same time Eisen has Blink, Desolator, and Dragonlance. So once those three items are have taken place, and you're on the dire, you kind of need to plan for that sort of timing. And typically around 25 minutes, 20 minutes is when you're going to be seeing those items come out for your Templar Assassin. And at that point, you'd like to have some sort of aura item built on the Underlord, right? Amplify the survivability of your TA. The Faceless Void, of course, getting something like an Aghanim Scepter just to help with the utility, because the damage is already being pumped in by Eisen. And of course, your supports may be a support item, a Glimmer Cape, a Force Staff, to be able to add some layer of defense. For the Radiant, it's going to be about buying time. It's going to be about, in your dream, finding those pickoffs, right? Arena, Blink, Spear combos, get onto the backline, kill the Disruptor, kill the Snapfire before the ults come out, and really punish any aggressive plays and isolate Eisen as much as possible. It's a little bit more nuanced for Rekonix here, the kind of gameplay that they have to do in this game, and I'm a little bit worried because the kinds of strategies you have to employ, you can't just man fight your opponents. That's what the Dire draft is for. That's exactly the kind of plan that Ivory want to take. Smoke play coming out here for the Radiant is a very aggressive one, but you can already see that there's been a read on the beat of the game plan here for Rekonix lineup. And you know, they're all setting pretty defensively. They got the ward up on the ramp leading up to their rune area, of course, and then have what can only be described as... Hold on, I gotta pull up the stream just to make sure everything's live. They are gonna come in onto Jikroy, but he's already got the strength shift going. Orb coming in, FBZ. What are you gonna get first? It's gonna be that God's Rebuke, but they turn their attention around. The Firestorm is there on top of it. They get the Morphling with the stun, but FBZ wants to go forward. There's another orb, and Ken is getting low. Ken is getting low. Ken is in trouble. The low with the first blood. The Shadow Poison stacking up on top of him. Gets the kill, and that was a little bit aggressive from the Dire side here. In Your Dream can honestly get a couple of runes here. Cinema Roll will make his lumbering way over to that rune. Ken with the TP that can't afford to lose 2 bounty runes, so he'll be able to salvage it. Has the ward in his backpack as well. This mid matchup is favored for the Void Spirit. This is one of the classic pucks to counter, or puck counters. I mean, you just get so much damage reduction on Ken with the shield. Blast obviously does so much work, and In Your Dream has to really doesn't have projectiles to dodge is the problem. Normally against a, you know, like a ranger or something, like a Shadow Fiend or an Invoker, you can just use a jaunt here and there, dodge a spell, and you can see In Your Dream dodging that range creep attack gives him a little bit of healing from the puckish, and that's kind of what you're trying to play for in this lane is how much can you really get away in terms of regen. Nice play by Ken to get that range creep deny. And the bottles will be coming out here soon. Top lane, Cinema Roll on the Snapfire. You can already tell Delol's not having a fun time. 6-1 charges though. And they get the D ward. That's a very nice ward spot. Delol does not have another sentry. It's coming, but Snapfire already has another one. So FBZ with that level 2. They have the Templar Assassin. Eisen trying to get level 2 himself, but because the creeps were so far close to the Radiant Tower, it wasn't really looking like FBZ could get much done. Again, it's all about timings. That's what we're thinking about for this lineup, right? Eisen really needing to get to that point as fast as possible. And the other part about this too is going to be stacks. Drick, he's got a really important job this game, stacking up those camps. So, you know, you think about stacking supports, Disruptor's not really one of them. I mean, you can Thunderstrike one, you know, creep camp and then right-click the other one and pull it over. But again, the big thing is this triangle. Would love to see Varese, for example, buy a couple of sentries, block those camps, make it impossible for the TA to get that money going. Sometimes you see the offlaner just go away alone and or the position 4 go over to the triangle. Unlike the Disruptor, the Shadow Demon is good at stacking. You're going to be able to see it here, ladies and gentlemen. Shadow Poison one camp and then pull the other with the right click, and that'll be a double stack for Delol, and it only takes like 10 seconds time of investment to get over there to that triangle. Stacking up for the puck, maybe the Morphling, somebody, I don't know. And they do need a little bit more in the way of detection on this lane for the Radiant, but you can see FBZ already going for the Helmadam. Bottom lane, there is that first blood onto Drick. Varese finding the kill there. I assume it was the double Starstorm, which would have easily done it. And Jikroy has himself that Lotus. So in one fell swoop, he's back up to basically full HP. These Morphlings, you gotta be careful because they don't care about the lane harass at all. They can survive for as long as possible. Rupido's already got the double bracer though, so a bit tanky, be difficult to kill. Again, that atrophy aura stacking up 30% damage reduction on the morph. And it is a true 30% status resistance. Which can be really annoying to deal with. Or not status resistance, attack damage debuff. Stack that with the Rubik, stack that with the Dragonite, you're dealing literally 0 damage. And you can see Ken is already pulling away in this mid lane a little bit. Level 5, Puck is pretty close to level 4. But the 12 denies from Ken is really the big thing here. That's 2, 3 creep waves worth of denies from Ken so far. Continues to put the pressure onto the Puck, and your Dream is not having a fun time. There's not really a whole lot you can do on a Puck, to be honest, in this matchup. Very rarely will you see a Puck win, and it's mostly because the Void Spirit is just playing a little bit too aggressive, trying to play for that advantage. It's like, you know, oh, bottom again. They find a kill, Drick with the glimpse into the pit, the Underlord, and that's going to be enough to... That's 3 gauntlets of strength on the Underlord, 7 HP, 11 HP regen. Look at this, 8 HP regen, and all he has is a Helm of Iron Will. He's going to get the Helm of the Dominator here soon on FPZ, and someone's been watching TI because, holy smokes, is it a good game for that. In the lane against the Little Shredder with the Snapfire, the Minus Armor, and the Meld Strike as well. Just a ton of physical damage amplification here that the Helm is going to really help with. I like this itemization as well as the phase boots for some extra armor too. This is some clever stuff from FBZ. Backs again for Delol. Now you do have to be a little bit careful when you're stacking, because if you stack incorrectly against a TA, to be specific, as in your Dream is getting rotated on. Ken has found an angle. He's got the ultimate going. Gets an easy kill onto the Puck. Ivory couldn't help him, and that's going to be the double remnant used to kill the Puck, but I think Ken is going to take it. As everybody from Ivory are leading in the CS department over Rekonix, and this is the problem. Cinema Roll has pinged out this stack, and he's actually starting to take it himself. The Shadow Demon, I believe, was taking it, but Cinema Roll will start to kill some of it himself. Leave 1 creep behind so it doesn't get full value back, but the lulls here for another stack again. The 7-minute Wisdom Shrine coming into play. Cedric has started to stack for his carry as well. Good stuff from him. Arrow will hit Rapido, and they got the Starstorm to follow. That pit was decent, but just too much magic damage. And when you're left alone against a hero like Jicroy, that Morphling, but you can't punish out a lane, gonna go for the Vlads, of course, the natural item build-up. Really comes into question, how much do you want to invest in shutting this Morphling down? It seems like the answer is really not a whole lot, as maybe Drake will be the next target here. They get the Shadow Poison for a little bit of vision on top of Drake, but he'll be okay, as TP is going to be coming in a little bit too late. An invading force. Not doing a whole lot. And yeah, the stacks are coming in. Rapido wants to kill this one stack, and they're going to stack the Ancients one more time for the TA, who's taking another stack. Take a look at the net worth, and you know, the TA has a little bit of catching up to do. Not a whole lot, but the wave creep's obviously going to be way more important. The arrow disruption combo, a combo as old as time it seems, but the pit does come down, and Rapido's going to be able to walk away from Varese, who went a little bit too aggressive. Cinema Roll misses the spell, but that's going to be okay. Ken making that rotation in now too. Body blocking on Delol. They are going to throw out the Blood Grenade on the pull back onto Delol. That'll be another kill. Jicroy has a waveform. Strength Treads. He used his waveform though. They have no vessel. Ken is going to get cookied over towards In Your Dream, who made the walk over, the, I guess, flight over. The Puck does not walk. Legs are weird and used to walk on, but In Your Dream wouldn't know anything about that. Wondering if Ken is going to finish. Maybe could have gotten that kill if he played his spells a little bit wiser, but wonder if he's going to go finish the treads or go for the vessel first. I mean, the vessel is one of those key items that you have to build against a Morphling. Every time I see teams not build it into Morph, I get a little bit sad, because it's probably the single best item against them. easy managing to farm some of this camp here. Backs with the Satyr Tormentor. Shockwave does a lot of damage. Middle. Ken. Racer finished up as well. I mean, again, the itemization is really simple for a lot of these people. You get the Manta style with the Dragonlance on Jitgroy, and then a Butterfly at some point for the evasion. Cinema Roll. You know, interesting to see what kind of items Cinema Roll is going to go for. You can either go for the Reeves and make that play. Invis Ring, bottled by In Your Dream. He did get it, but the damage is there. Nice save by Delul. Saving from the Scatter Blast. They are going to make that Glimpse Back rotation, and of course the Dream Coil down on top of it. The stun is going to hit onto the Void Spirit, who's abandoned his supports. He just wants to kill the puck, and he'll get the kill. A double for Varese, though, on the back line. Ken standing alone and proper. We'll see what he wants to do here. Varese will arrow that catapult, and they will protect their base. So Rapido not having a fun time, and In Your Dream not having a fun time. But, you know, when it comes down to it, the Underlord is a little bit different of a comeback hero than the Puck. Both can, but they just do it very differently. For example, the Underlord farms camps like this, off in the distance, stacks camps, farms them, gets the job done. They are going to kill the stack for Puck. In this case, as the jump in onto Varese, he'll be able to live here with the evasion from the Sister Stride. Nice glimpse used on top of the support coming in. That arrow's not going to land, and now In Your Dream is walking forward. Got the silence on top of the Ken, but where's the Dream Coil? Was he used? Nope, he does still have it. However, Ken, he's fine. Moonlight Shadow has been committed for the top tower, I guess. Ours with the Helmet Dominator and the Soul Ring gonna get those phase boots in from the Courier, and treads finished up. A lot of treads built this game. 4 treads, 5 treads. Actually, maybe even more to come, depending on what Drick and, well, I guess Drick and Cinema will be building them. FBZ getting phase boots. Vito's gonna kill the stack. He feels like he needs to come back a little bit. That's okay. I don't blame him. He'll also give the support some levels. I do like this play. Puts the Underlord at level 9. FBZ also at level 9. Smoke play. Hit. Kisses. They want to force the waveform from Jicker. Oh no, he used the waveform, and now they're going to TP in. They identified that that was a mistake, and a mistake it was. Ken dominating. Waveforming underneath the feet of the Underlord was a feat to behold for sure. Rapido is going to be able to punish that easily. Smoke play coming up around the backside of the tower as Delul will stand strong. There is a ward present, however, and Rapido does have a TP back home to base if he needs it, but nobody's going to be pushing in this tower. There's not a lot of tower pressure until the TA is online, and that could be one thing slowing down this Ivory lineup. The wards are down once again. They have Varese. They are going to get the jump out on top of Varese, but glimpse back. They will get the kill. The pit was down. Doesn't help anybody. Delul is walking over to the Void Spirit, but they will get the Disruptor. Locked up the wrong ramp. All 3 cores surrounding him, and now Ivory decide they're going to back up. Vito's going to push out top. They've got Eisen killing some of these creeps. Falcon Blade. Interesting diversion of the item build. Interesting play of Jikroy going back into the bottom lane where he was pressured out before, as Ken is going to try to close the gap but doesn't have enough charges. Get the job done. Again, they have the Desolator finished on Eisen. Very interesting deviation here with the Falcon Blade. No Dragonlance to be purchased in sight. I wonder what the decision is behind that. But what I do know, that with the Falcon Blade and Desolator, you kind of want to go for a little bit more aggressive, play. Get those Desolator charges up. burst some supports down. I mean, if you're a Marisi and you get melt striked, you're dead. If you're Delol and you get melt striked, you're dead. Oh no. Aizen gonna get hit with the banish into the arrow, but it doesn't land. He doesn't have a TP. Everybody left him behind, and that's gonna be a clean kill. Disruption plus arrow is a little bit hard to land sometimes, believe me, but when you get it right, it's an impossible thing to dodge. Constant aggression from both teams. You can see, okay, Ivory, we lose our Morphling. Let's go kill FBZ. FBZ now drops that arena, but he's hit with the Static Storm. That Static Storm damage is going to be able to add up to something. They now drop the pit, and they have the kisses coming down from Cinema Roll! Jake Roy! Oh no, you disrespectful little human boy. Oh, they caught him. Now they're going to get the disruption down on top of Ken. The chase is over. And this is what you have to worry about if you're playing the Morphling. He didn't respect the kisses. It came down, did what, 180 damage plus 60 immediately from the burn DPS. Morphling not having the best of times here in this game. I mean, was kind of salvaged a little bit in your dream. Able to elude Ken's advance. And again, it's all about tempo for Ivory, right? They're playing for the TA timing. Blink BKB, and that'll be go time. You gotta take out all the tier 1 towers first. That's on the checklist for Ivory. Have the catapult wave in mid. This 15-minute catapult would be a good starting point to taking down the rest of the tier 1s that they need before Aizen really starts getting involved into these team fights. And rotations. Shadow Demon hit with the stun. The arrow's gonna land this time. Delol needs some help as Ken continues on, but the Scatter Blast is gonna be able to pick up the kill. They get the tower as well. And Ken, with the backup of his team, is again amplifying the amount of space that's being created. Gonna go for the shard instead. I think an interesting pickup. Feel they've gone for something a little bit more, you know, standard with the Aghanim Scepter. Maybe he feels like he can get to that timing with the TA and have his shard, which is probably a decent enough shout. The 8th environment doesn't do a DOT to creeps.
Dire are scanning.
The fact that it doesn't trigger on creeps is a massive boon. Cinema Roll walks up onto the high ground, but it's going to be Ken getting caught on the sideline. Needs some help. They have the Static Storm down onto 2. Kisses come down as well, but it's all in melee range, and the pit's going to come down a little bit too late. In Your Dream has found an angle here. Rapido with the pipe out with the TP. Cinema Roll. What angle can you find? Well, none. They'll lose 2, and that rotation is just going to show you the team fight from the Radiant is a little bit too hard to deal with. As they bring over Morphling into the Aegis, this Roshan is one of the big objectives for the Dire lineup that they really have to plan around. A mechanism coming out from that Mirana provides a lot of sustain. And I don't think anybody from Ivory are going to want to touch this Roshan. They don't know what's being taken. And even if they did, what could they do about it? 2 dead. Not a possibility. The Dragon Lance not being completed for the TA. Aizen opting to go back for it. A shard at some point could be viable as well. More silence to deal with the puck. More silence to deal with the Morphling. BKB used by FBZ. Didn't want to get put into an issue where they could get glimpsed. Doesn't have the range on Disruptor. The Blink is going to be the next item, and that is an important Disruptor item. Making sure you can get those blinks off. But this team fight from Ivory, or sorry, from Rekonix just seems to be a little bit too much. I mean, once you get the, again, you have the pipe now for Rapido. He's going to go for the Rod of Atos, so a little bit more rooting potential here with the Pit of Malice. Makes it impossible to deal with that sort of gameplay. And big smoke. Big smoke, and they're going to find Drick. No blink on the Mars. He doesn't need it. They have the Silence and the Witchblade now falling down. They will bring over Ken. Drop the Dream Coil as well. Rapido comes in with the pipe, gets the stun up with the arrow on top of the Void Spirit, and the initial burst damage is way too much. They are going to get the Banish down, though. And that is one dead puck. The lull getting low. They are going to drop the arena now on top of the Templar Assassin. Can't go for the Melt Strike. The Pit is down once again. Jigoroy's turned into Eisen at this point. Reflection charges aren't going to be good enough. Eisen hit with the spear, stunned up against the wall. The arrow comes down as well. The stuns are a little bit too much to deal with, and Rekonix are playing these team fights masterfully. Eisen has hit his critical timing, and it turned into nothing. The Aegis would have been such an important factor for that team fight. The Helm of the Overlord on FBZ, keeping him alive for so long. That extra 4 armor, 6 armor, sorry. 6 armor plus 6 to all stats. And you can see Drick now. He needs that Blink Dagger. Once he gets that Blink, he'll be able to blink, glimpse, catch people off guard with the Static Storm. About 100 gold for the Blink Dagger. And the tempo has been stalled officially for the boys in red. Ivory. I don't think they're going to be happy looking back at this mid-game. The way it started for them is that's, you know, you really needed to get TA or Deso charges. He did show up to fights for towers, but if you're going to go for an aggressive build like a Falcon Blade into Desolator, it's not really a farming build, but it's not very traditional. You need to leverage your advantage, your damage output somehow. 2-shot supports with the Melt Strike debuff. Find angles and opportunities that way. Playing a little bit slow, in my opinion. Like by the time you get the Sagan set there on Ken, which is going to be coming through on the courier, but the smoke up. Oh, counter smoke. This is a really big item of timing for Ken. Loses a courier, but it didn't have anything on it. Blink Spear onto the Void Spirit and the arrow. That's one dead Sven. They had the combo damage to kill him. The rest of his team just was not there to help. The other thing about the Hellbear Smasher is it gives really good vision for the Mars to blink, find those angles. There's no blink stunner on the Dire. No way to initiate fights the way they want to. They just have to accept the fights as they come. And that really is playing into the Radiant's hands right now, where Rekonix can just pick apart the team fight. They don't have to commit everything if they don't want to, because they know that they have the control and the damage to get the kills. And this decision makes it hard to commit if you're Ivory. Do you throw everything in on top of a single Mars, try to blow up the puck? Do you catch the Morphling out of position? So many questions for this Dire lineup, and the win probability is now favoring Rekonix slightly. For those that didn't check it, 61%. You can see it right here, left. Break with the smoke up. Well, cinema roll with the smoke, I mean. Strategic right. One item away from the butterfly. Goes down. I mean, this is the most coherent play that we've seen from Ivory so far, and they're gonna find only the Shadow Demon. Endelos Courier. Static Storm used on the puck. They caught him, but they need to bring Ken over. The kisses are coming in a little bit too late. Maybe the glimpse back is gonna be good. Now the BKB comes out from FBZ. Ken gets himself out of the pit. They will lose the Disruptor. Arrow coming in. Rapidos come in with the TP as well. The pit's going to be coming down on top of the Morphling as well. Do they have the percentage to bring down the Morphling before we're going to get the strength stripped off? Yes, they can. Now Ken walking in a little bit, but that doesn't really matter too much. Ivory catching Rekonix off guard with that smoke play. There's just a lot of stuff the Morphling still has to deal with in this game, even though the Morph is the strongest hero on the map. There are a lot of abilities that you have to worry about. Not having a BKB is a little bit greedy against the Disruptor.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
2,500 HP and 35 armor. And yet, you still die. Quite ridiculous. Hendrick going for the Aghanim Scepter himself. Shadow Demon needing a blink of his own to be able to save people from the Static Storm and the Glimpse. Haven't seen a Glimpse save yet from Delol.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Quite often when I see Shadow Demons, I find a little bit, the team a little bit lacking. You have good save.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
What I find with save heroes, you have to play very aggressive. You have to push your limits. And trust that your teammate will help you.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But not doing damage is a hard thing to convince a Dota player about.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now, Disseminate is a really good spell.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
We'll see if they'll use it full effect here as the smoke and Moonlight Shadow combo has been used for Rekonix. Breeze did not go for the sun thing. That gives extra attack speed to everybody. I remember when that was in the game, that was busted as heck.
Middle tower is under attack.
Basically could play Mirana as a carry 4 consistently. Buy one Maelstrom and then that would be it for the enemy team. You didn't even need to buy damage. To be honest, even a Maelstrom is a little bit greedy. BKB coming out for Ken here soon. I would assume there's a BKB and an MKB for Aizen, so all this time spent to get yourself a butterfly turned to nothing. Roshan is alive. I'd expect one of the teams to begin to go for it here early. And yeah, they're going to throw the arrow in. FBZ wants to get this Roshan kill. I don't think Ivory should let it go. They are a little worried. Now the Rosh Roar will be spawned. They are going to smoke up as well. Smoke play from Rekonix. They're actually baiting this out here. Aizen's going to walk up the high ground. He does have a BKB. They're using FBZ's creep to find the angle, but BKB doesn't come out in time. They're going to be able to throw out all the burst damage on top of Aizen. Kisses come out a little bit too late. Silence is going to be through. The Static Storm is nice. Ken will commit once again. They find the Morphling. They get the kill onto the Morphling also. Rick pulling the aggro, the ire of the Roshan. FBZ popping that BKB. Drick needs some help. FBZ is going to go out with the TP. They don't get the glimpse off in time. Alvarez could get caught. He's not careful. Vanish. And away we are. Ken. Gonna guess where the way Varese went. Guess is wrong. But a good fight for Ivory. They did lose Eisen at the beginning, but they get the burst damage out on top of the Morphling with the Static Storm. And that's all they really needed to make that fight happen. I mean, obviously Eisen did 0 damage because he was perma-stunned the whole time, but hard to say what item would have helped them there. Maybe an Aeon Disc. But I mean, Aeon Disc on TA is a little weird. But he does keep getting bursted from 100 to 0 in these team fights. And I feel like if you had an Aeon, pop the BKB after turn and man fight. Unfortunately, the lack of blink initiation means that your opponents are going to target whomever they want. And most of the time it's going to be TA. Let's be real. TA is normally the target for these things. And with an Aegis, hopefully Eisen can find some sort of respite. And these fights can eat a couple of spells and die instantly, but come back and start doing some real damage. 250 damage on each of the right clicks, 260 damage to be exact. You want to be Fashesis? That's the word. Good word. I just don't know how to speak English. With this Roshan, you can expect to see all the tier 2 towers die for Rekonix. I'd be surprised if they even bothered to fight Ivory at this stage, as Eisen is incredibly strong with an Aegis of Immortality.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
These TA players know how to get things done around the map once they fit their timings, and the good thing is too, Rapido can just sit back in the base, farm it up. He's got a BKB. He's been eating. He's been farming. Jikroy close to that BKB, but again, that a couple of bad deaths makes it possible for him to get them. And I'm a little worried about the timing about some of these items, because the item set there's going to be here in about 1,000 gold for Drake. You would happily buy that item out. Doesn't want to save for buyback, especially when you have an item that big coming and ready to go. As Ken's got his BKB and the anti-vision item, the gem, though they didn't see the vision here. Moonlight Shadow committed. Spear back? No, they didn't get the spear. Oh, they didn't get the connection. Eisen gonna hit now onto the Mars. They will try to stop any save from coming in, but the ultimate's used on the Void Spirit. Disseminate back. Jikroy with the BKB now hitting into Eisen. Eisen needs some help. He's good to go. Rapido now with the TP in. Jikroy does way too much damage. He's hit with this nice man to dodge through the wall. That is the real one, and the Dreamcoil is gonna hit Drick. Jikroy walking forward. Ken needs to get away. Drick will die. Jikroy does way too much damage. Spear will clip Rapido. This Morphling is officially a problem. Maybe they're going to go for some burst damage. Ken here gets the taunt up, but No. Too much armor. 47 armor on the morph. 2000 HP. 400 damage and attack.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Goes in for a plate. Goes out for a plate. In for a penny, out for a pound. In for everything. They're trying to get the burst damage down on top of Jikro. Both the PKBs coming out of Aizen. Who are you going to hit, man? This Mars is ruining Aizen's gameplay. With the bulwark up and available, Aizen can't afford to hit anybody. The Spear's not going to connect because of the cookie. Blink ahead. They want to find an angle, but the arena turnaround is there. And, I mean, that is such a beautiful play from FBZ. This game feels like it's falling apart here. Our Rekonix got over the hump. Jikroy has turned into the alpha carry of this game, the hero they needed. He has become, all he needed was a BKB. And Jikroy just will not stop doing damage.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Bottom racks for Ivory are taken out, and Aizen struggling to find a place in these team fights. I think he's going after the wrong target. You can't kill Jikroy. You gotta find these supports. You gotta find the Shadow Demon. You gotta find the Mirana. Kill them first and then pick apart the team one by one. Jikroy can kill whomever he pleases.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
400 damage and attack. Firestorm the wave with the scatter blast they have. And jump in. The root counter as well. Nice spear. Static Storm is down. They can't force staff the Jikroy out, but the stun is on top of that Void Spear lasting so long. Kisses come through as well. The buyback, there's no buyback. It's instead Jikroy going over to the left-hand side, walks through the arena. It is his arena to walk through. No Manta, but he does have a BKB. Now turn around. The Hex on top of the Templar Assassin cookie in. Not the right way you want to go, but pops the BKB instead Jikroy now. Right clicks are there. They have the arrow to follow through Jikroy. Right click, right click, right click, right click, right click. He's swimming in the air, but he is water after all.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Jikroy just like that. All the hard work he did to get him down.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Ship the items back into his inventory. Fixes HP pool. Blink forward onto Rapido.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
No Crimson Guard, no, not a lot of anti-heal. And that's going to be Mega Creeps.
Dire's top barracks has
Aizen's going to need a Divine Rapier. That's probably the only way you can get out of this one. And yeah, he's got it on his quick buy. Get rid of the Deso probably for it.
Radiant are
Buying out still. Does not care about buyback. Only cares about being the strongest once. And I think this game really comes down to that Dragonlance team fight. The fight where Templar Assassin had the Dragonlance, had the Desolator, had the Blink, and nothing amounted to it. The pinnacle of the TA power was thwarted, and now Rekonix, they're going to play with the smoke now. In Your Dream
are scanning.
has returned to form. They're going to find the Snapfire. That's an easy kill to make. And the puck is going to continue. On to Ken. Ken with the BKB. Doesn't fall for the bait. You have an okay Mega Creep defense team with the Underlord and the Aizen. Oh, and the Templar Assassin, I should say. But I mean, ultimately, this game is just going to come down to maybe one blink. They will pop the BKB, the waveform on top of everything. Jikroy is tearing apart Worlds, and Ken's going to call the GG. I mean, That's pretty much game. Look at the damage coming out from Jake right here. It's way too much. He has a Daedalus, I believe. And that's game one. I felt like there was a strong tempo draft coming out from Ivory, but Rekonix, they itemized correctly. They played much better. All they did was buy time. Buy time. Wait until Jikroy became the, single hardest hitting carry in the game, and then go from there. And Aizen, a very uncharacteristically poor performance from him on the Templar Assassin. Comes down to the fact that the Templar Assassin into the Mars is not a good matchup. Many fights where the Mars was just using the bulwark, stopping the right clicks from the melds, and got stuck with the disruption plus the arrow combo a lot that Delol and Varese executed upon, and felt like the thing that really tied things together was the puck amplifying a lot of that damage in the middle of team fights, and just overall being a nuisance with the Parasma and the Octarine core just pumping in those right clicks every now and then, burning away at the HP pools. And just like that, I mean, game one, maybe a little bit of a surprise for some people, but for others, not so much. I mean, Rekonix are the defending champions. It's up to them to see if they will be the ones to move on from the upper bracket finals and into the grand finals itself. And, this is a good way to start it. I think another big aspect of the game that we just watched was a lack of concern, a lack of tempo from Ivory when they did hit their timings. I felt like Rekonix knew what was up. They were playing fights really well. They played defensively. They had the arenas. Just didn't work out. And that's okay, because you can have another game to make it work. Game 2 between Ivory and Rekonix coming up next. Ay, 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 okay. Well, give me one more second. Okay, your caster is back full time. Again, had to get some water. Very important. Stay hydrated, especially during the summertime. I mean, we're going into the fall now. Should be fall, proper, with September, or with it
10
being
seconds
September.
remaining.
So, hope everybody had a good summer, enjoyed their time
5 seconds
off on
remaining.
vacation, and now we get back into real life. Well, I say that. I know in the Philippines, I'm pretty sure you guys are celebrating Christmas soon, if not um, now. So, Merry Christmas. I believe that in the Philippines, Christmas is it's the longest Christmas in the world, if I'm not mistaken. And okay, I'm sorry. I know I'm all over the place in this draft. I'm just wondering what the Pudge is gonna do. Because, like, you know, Pudge into Terrorblade doesn't do anything. And Terrorblade, it looks like a free Terrorblade game, I'm not gonna lie. I would be so surprised if Rekonix loses the game. TB, specifically why it's good in this draft, is you always have a stick to Sunder. The Abaddon is almost always going to be full HP, and one of the things you could do is hit Aizen a bunch when he's ulted, when you're low, and then just swap HP pools with him after anyway. It's a very awkward to play into. And to be honest, very annoying to deal with as Aizen as well. Like, you're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, they're hitting me when I'm ulted, I'm going to get the second life basically. I'm unkillable. Doesn't work that way. Never will work that way. Good luck making it work that way, especially into a team that's as good as Rekonix. They're going to be on top of it. FPZ on the Dawnbreaker. FPZ played an amazing game. One, going to go ahead and play that game too. Obviously, smoke play now for Ivory. They want to make that rotation up into the enemy triangle, but little do they know, nobody's there. We'll see the Pudge. Rapido does have a lot on the line here. Hooked up. I'm gonna try to take the bounty, but hook gets broken. He knows he's in danger. Aizen doesn't win the war rune, the rune war. And now you can see Dawnbreaker FPZ gonna go for the blocks again. Exactly. If he throws the hammer out, sometimes you can see them clear the first wave with poison and hammer. And Delol is going to stop this play, but First Blood going the way of Drick up top on the Snapfire. They made the play with the Warlock, and they got the snap kill. So a little awkward, but it will give Terrorblade free XP. This is a kill lane for the Radiant. Doesn't want to miss it. That's CS. Can't blame him. Can maybe flame break into the hook. A little bit more skillful, but it is possible to do. Not very reliable. Rapido. Okay. Well, there's the flame break into the hook, and Terrorblade will take a lot of damage there, but You gotta be careful with the little shredder from Varese. Especially on a hero like Pudge who has 0 HP to work with. Or 0 armor to work with, I mean. Once level 2 rolls around and you get a cookie, for example, or a scatter blast. Yep, there's the cookie. Flame Break will create some space, and Rapido won't even bother going for the hook. Not while there are creeps under the tower. B is a little bit... The last hits are going to be hard to come by in this lane. Here's to see what Drake will go for next. Probably, I don't know, maybe Flame Break? Maybe not. I don't know, mid matchup. Oh, never mind. Bottom lane, they kill the Warlock. As long as Aizen isn't dying, I really don't think the Warlock cares. I mean, they have a stick. Cinema Roll will just sit there and try to build up Dark Grimoire stacks. And the stacks coming out from below as well. Cinema Roll will get the Sentry Ward down, blocking the camp. Well, gets a sentry of his own. And top, wow, they find a kill onto Jikroy. That's a big one. Varese is going to be next. See Rapido with that bracer build up. He's not falling for no Helmadam. You could Helmadam on Pudge. Get like a root creep or something. A land hook. Don't, no. I'm talking myself into Helmadam Pudge. And I think it's good, dude. Because the thing about Helmadam, specifically on Pudge, is Jikroy's gonna pop that Metamorphosis. Drick walking in, dude, that's way too much physical damage, and now it's gonna be Rapido with these right clicks. I mean, they went for a kill that was never gonna work, man. Terrorblade is too strong for that. Level 2 on the little shredder for Varese. Does not strip away armor, but it does give bonus damage. Hook does not land. We'll see how things play out here in this bottom lane. Aizen is, you know, gonna gear up for that Radiance. In your dream, getting that kill mid, obviously, with the Diabolic Edict and the Lightning Storms. Gonna get that level 6 too, and he's uh-oh. Like grenade thrown out as well. I think the Lesh is fine. This is not enough of a creep camp. Killed the Lesh. Was on the full creep camp, he probably would not live, but Cinema Roll wants level 3, I guess. Poor guy. Not even close to getting any of those levels. 8 kills already in this game. Trez has been finished up. Trez have been finished up on Jik. We're gonna go for the Falcon Blade next. A little bit more HP. Rick will harass Varese. That's 6 sticky napalm charges. At the Add the Blood Grenade. And in your dream we'll find the Bat Rider. Hook out! Nice save. Oh, nice save. By Rapido. A level 5 on Jik right now. This is not good. That top lane is over for the Dire. Or the Radiant. I mean, they needed to not died to the Snapfire, which is a lot, you know, it's way easier said than done. Curious to see if Snapfire is going to go for more of a carry build with the Daedalus, which is definitely an option in these games of Dota 2 where the little shutter just does so much work. Base damage per shot increasing. TP coming over. In Your Dream, gonna get cookied in. They will get the shrine, but at what cost? Trick, at what cost? Scatterblast comes through. In Your Dream. Oh no, that's not the person you want to hook into that, but I guess he'll take it. Cinnamon Roll walking over now. They bring the rotation from the illusions over. Ivory has to deal with Ken, level 6, zipping forward, finds a pickoff. That's going to be an extra galvanized stack for Ken as he makes his way Kenyard to the mid lane. Now, the supports from Ivory are doing way better than supports from Rekonix. And they want to take some stacks that Delol have been making as well. This is a big play because just going to walk in Delol. Going to try to get in the middle of those. The root is there. They are going to pop the golem down as well. Delol tries to keep himself alive, but once he comes out, he will meet his demise. FPZ walking over as well. They have In Your Dream trying to make the way up onto the high ground. Cinema Roll. Cinema dead. But most of the stack was cleared out by the team that didn't make them. Could lose your golem for this though. And you will. So that's 100 gold gone. In Your Dream also pops the regen rune. I don't know if that was a positive or negative, but I do know that the Dawnbreaker starting to struggle. Does have the Dawn ulti up now, so you can get the plays going there. Aizen is still free farming away, but it's not going to be the same farming speed as something like a Leshrac or a Terrorblade, which is going to be completely infesting the map with farm and levels. And Abaddon's not the kind of carry that can man fight a Terrorblade. You can't do it. Possible. They are going for their own stack steal of their, you know, their own volition. The Pudge does have that hook. Maybe doesn't want to take it quite yet. Drink looking for an angle. They are going to get the hook out onto In Your Dream. Rapido gonna get Dawn ulted down as well, but there's not a lot of mana left for In Your Dream. Doesn't need it. They have the ulti used, or the Metamorphosis used on Jikroy. He's going to be up and available again. No rock, not for another 60 seconds, and that's going to be the middle tower, probably gone here. Rekonix have much to play for. Jikroy going to take a little bit of harass here, but he does not have a point for his ulti. Will have it after a few creep waves. Rapido coming in. The hook is not going to be able to save the right person. Ken is gone. They do get the ultimate down. Now Aizen comes in with the TP. In Your Dream doesn't get the chance to leave, and Aizen wants to keep going. He does have himself that ultimate available, so it's not even that big of a deal, even if he gets caught out here, which he does. Cinema Roll is walking up and over. They need to wait a little bit longer. They are going to get the ultimate down, and now the hook is going to land on stopping the kisses from coming out. They need to keep Aizen alive for a little bit longer, but he doesn't quite get it. There's Cinnamon Roll now going to get hit with the stun up onto the FBZ, and they have the scatter shot to follow through. The kill is there for FBZ, a double kill. Now they turn their attention over. There's going to be a save with the disruption on top of Jikroy as well. Ken coming in. They know that the Terrorblade doesn't have a way to keep himself alive. It's complete chaos in this game. The zip through. Ken finds a kill, and now going to try to get away. Dodges the last stun from FPZ. A team fight turning into another team fight, turning into another team fight. And at the end of it all, it's only Rekonix getting advantage. FBZ at the top of the list. Pain, misery, suffering, all in the name of violence. And for what? A Blink Dagger coming out for In Your Dream here soon as they make another play in mid. Ken doesn't want to slow down. Rapido can't get the Dismember off in time. He will be robbed of the strength. Going for that Blade Mail atomization against the Leshrac. Rick with the lasso. As the Tranquil Boots, gonna go for the Blink first, just so that you can yoink whomever you please. Gonna be super important to stop the play from Dick right here. Nice zip away, stopping the cookie, but I mean, the Lesh is just way too strong at this point. As the Mana Boots, a little bit more gas in the tank might have been enough to go for the dive onto the Pudge, but Rapido spending more time fighting than he is farming, and clean TP away from Abaddon, who still is not close to that Radiance timing. Not that, you know, if he was having a perfect game, he would be. He'd have the Sacred Relic by now, but a 12-minute Sacred Relic on an Abaddon is kind of insane, so. The hero that doesn't have any innate farming ability, we give him the pass. And gonna get hit with the Banish, and they had the follow-up stuns all there. The rock comes out a little bit too late. Fatal Pawns, oh, does come through, and the heal as well. Rapido gets the hook down and the Dismember. There's no save for this one. Rick comes around. A bit awkward. Rick will chase FBZ alongside Aizen. He's looking to try to get down onto the low ground, but there's not gonna happen. These team fights have been too long. $1,400 damage done by the Warlock, 1,800 damage done by the Dawnbreaker, and the Warlock realistically only used Fatal Bonds. Some of these team fights are starting to get pretty intense, and you know, the farm disparity still not great. It's that every team fight, oh, they find the blink in, they find the lull. Zip in by Kemp, but there's a stun on two. Delul maybe can get out there, but no. Instead, they're gonna start diving that tier 2 tower. Maurice, we're gonna pretend like we didn't see that spell. You have a hook on Rapido. And you see In Your Dream, but you have the Blade Mail. Instead, you're going to go over for Jikroy. There is a stack there available. Drick is going to get TP canceled. Cut off by In Your Dream. That'll be the end of that. Sacred Relic finished for Aizen. We'll get the Radiance next. That's not really an item timing that you farm it, or that you fight around. It's more of a farming tool, to be honest. Breeze continues to miss these scatter blasts. FBZ is here, dude. This Warlock went the... Oh, dude. Okay. You didn't have to do him like that, but you did. Kaya finished on Ken. You know, items are important. We talk about this Radiance with the Kaya too. On Ken for that mana regen. Seems to be one of the most efficient items that you can build on the hero. Sunder down on top of Aizen and the Banish to follow. Means that his ultimate's going to be not for anything, and Jikroy gets a free kill using his ultimate ability. Banishing the Abaddon is so good. Shadow Demon is so good against that guy. It's ridiculous. He's running at you at full HP. Ult him. Purges off the shields. Blink in. FBZ, they find an angle. And they're going to find the kill as well. Ken doesn't seem like he wants to stop. He does have that haste rune going. But, I mean, dude, this has to be way too deep. This has to be too deep. They are going to drop the rock. The hook isn't going to land. Ken? Zip down onto the low ground. Oh, he does not have a lot of mana left. They see him. He's going to pay for this. I mean, he did get 2 kills, I guess. But that's not really that great. Torpedo does have the blade melt. Gonna get chased in. Rick, no lasso. And yeah, they're all just gonna run away. Try to run away. Panel comes through, but everybody walks over, and yeah, that's gonna be the end of that. So Rapido kind of abandoned by his team. Be expected. Radiant's finished on Abaddon now, but it's another game. It's a back-to-back game where Jikroy's just playing an alpha carry. And the style from Rekonix is very simple, in my opinion. Draft 4 heroes that offer more utility, and space creation, and supplementary force, and then let Jikroy just play a carry that will win the game for you. That seems to be the be-all, end-all of the draft, and to be honest with you, that's pretty well how it should work. Now they get the lasso down on top of the Delul, but nice return. They get the counter initiation zip in by Ken. They still want to find Delul, but Ken is just can't find an angle. FBZ yoinked. They have the damage to follow through, but now the kisses come out from Varese and Ken. Oh, nice Sunder. Oh. Jikroy, you're getting low. Not as low as Abaddon, who dies. And still waiting, but this Jikroy Terrorblade is just too much of a menace. Nice hook play to get something out of it. Aghanim Scepter for the Pudge next. I guess maybe if Shiva's Guard after that. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard. You do need more armor. Pipe finished by FBZ. Completely different tonal structure for these offlaners, where FBZ is going for more auras, going for more support, going for more, help the team out. Whereas Rapido's going for more individual, stylistic gameplay.
Don't waste the day.
That he is known for with the Aghanim Scepter Blade Mail. Items more suited to his individuality than, say, the supporting role that FBZ is doing in this game. And even the utility that he played in the last game is the Mars. Woke up. And still only 5 galvanized stacks.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scan will catch out everybody on the back. And Delul's gonna break the smoke. Zip up. They find Delul. Hook in. The banish is not gonna come out in time, but the Dawnbreaker ultimate will. They find Ken. They are gonna try to get the save there, and they do. Ken's okay for now, but Rapido still doesn't have that Aghanim Scepter. And now, okay, well, that's probably the single worst person you're expecting to come out of that portal. Rapido's trying to walk away. They don't have a golem. They do have a Fatal Bonds, though. Instead of TP out for the Warlock. Will be successful. They didn't get the banish off in time. Rick will try to protect their Wisdom Shrine, but
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
they don't have their carry with them. This is the difference, right? The Terrorblade is ready, able, willing, and Aizen is still AFK farming. And the problem is, for as much farming as this guy is doing, it's not going to amount to anything, I don't think. Abaddon cannot out-carry a TB one-on-one, especially not with the Disruptor behind him. Anti-style Blink, Basher. No BKB on the Abaddon, of course. You don't go for that item. Wicked Sick on Any Dream. 12 and 2. He's having himself a game. And the fact that Diabolic Edict does pure damage. 4T times 34 pure damage is 1200? Pure damage with one cast of a spell on a 19-second cooldown? If you get one person with it? This could deal 500 pure damage and it would still be decent. Oh, maybe not 500. Even like 600 pure damage. Insane. Ridiculous. Why does it do pure damage? They should really just change it to magical. Like, it doesn't need to be pure. Nothing else about him is pure. Why is this pure? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. Drick, fighting the wave, has the Force Staff, gonna go for the Egg and set there next. Gotta get after those supports in the back line. Ken found himself a target. Oh, Marie's nice dodge. It was a nice dodge. Ken, zip away. Zip away again, out with the TP. You can't get him. Forces the Dawnbreaker ultimate. This is exactly the kind of play you want to make. Force FBZ to use those spells. Maybe now you can smoke up, look for a play. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what your game plan will be now. Radiant's top tower under siege now. You can see Ivory's going for more of that support build as well with the mechanism. Everything to keep Jikroy alive. It just feels like that's kind of the MO here. They know that they'll bring the damage easily. They know where Ken is as well. But what are you building with the vitality boost? Bringing you. Eternal Shroud. Interesting.
Let the fun begin. Over here now. Stupendous.
Oh, he's playing with fire and he doesn't know it. Not like they have the control for him. Oh, no, they don't. No, you'll set there on in your dream. He's got Yashikaya though. I do prefer Yashikaya on Lesh. Let it be known. Casting so many spells, the cast point time reduction is honestly pretty good. The only source of it as well. You know, I was talking about this with Crasheroni at Co-Caster. We were discussing items. And it's weird that there's no item in the game that blinds. Fine, full health. Now they turn their attention over to FPZ, who gets punished for the play. The kisses are coming through. Ken pumping in the damage into your dream, but the BKB walk away is going to be good. Repeato. Will you find the hook of a lifetime onto Jikroy, onto anybody, onto somebody? Do something, man. Ken is on the back line trying to find an angle here. He's going to start running out of mana here soon. They're going to try to pump fake the stun. Ken, you need some help here, dude. You're literally all alone, brother. Repeato walking in. Now they have Aizen walking forward, front and center. Doesn't have the ultimate. Not for another 5 or 30 seconds. Marie's dead. Stun now onto 2. Looking for an angle, but they won't find it. In your dream, might run into Ken. It's the Arcane Rune. A nice hold. A really nice hold. I also need to apologize. I know the stream is wrong. I know the title's wrong. I don't have permission. I don't have permission to change it. I can't change the stream title. So, yeah. A little awkward. Banish on the Storm Spirit. Can they land the stun? Yes, they can. Perfect placement. It will finally deal with the pesky Storm Spirit, who honestly has been playing a little bit, you know, close to the edge. Finally gets tipped over. No Aegis on Jikro, doesn't need one. I mean, they already got the Range Rock's bottom. Why not go up and get that done? They don't have Golem, not for another 30 seconds. Rapido opting to go for a BKB. Once BKB is complete, maybe look for some other things.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Roshan has fallen to
Aegis. Jikroy. Oh no, Ken. Oh, you need mana. Okay, there's the zip. Good try. We're already seeing the problems with this Abaddon carry. It's nothing that Aizen can do. It is just simply that you are gonna get kited. You can't deal much damage, and your HP pool is being used against you. So like every part of this, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, the Rock is gonna get dropped. The pops the ultimate as well. Turns around onto Jikroy, but the FBZ ultimate is there, and Abaddon. That's the problem with fighting into a Terrorblade, is you get deleted once your ultimate is done. Stun onto Drake will follow. And that's 2 big kills, a dieback for Drake. And Aizen with no buyback. He's buying out for that Basher. An important item to be sure. They bought out for BKB on Rapido. Another important item, but I can't tell you how important Delol is to this game. Or Rekonix. This Shadow Demon has been incredible. Game 1 and Game 2. Probably MVP, to be honest. This hero just stops everything that Ivory want to do. You're trying to lasso? Oh, I'm going to disrupt the person you're lassoing. Oh, you try to punch ulti? Oh, I'm going to disrupt that person. Oh, you want to ulti somebody? You want to go in? Oh, I'm going to pop my ult on you, and I'm also going to use my W, my disseminate on them. Oh, you're trying to blink on top of my carry? I'm just going to Shadow Poison you and go down and stop the blink. And you can see Aizen just walking up takes half of his HP worth of damage in a matter of seconds compared to Jikroy, who, quite frankly, does not care. This smoke seems like a desperate attempt at something, but again, they have the Dawnbreaker ultimate to follow in case something bad happens, which it may or may not, but again, there is that Aegis on the Terrorblade. The lull with about 1,400 gold left until he gets a negative set. Oh, he bought something. What did he buy? He bought an eighth once. Okay, so it's now way harder. Cast range. Some people have a negative opinion about cast range, but to be honest,
Cast range and cooldown reduction are some of the most broken spell altering effects in the game, and
Radiant's top tower is
being able to cast more spells and being able to cast them more effectively is just always going to be an angle. Dickroy pops that Manta style. They are going to get the zip in as well. He does have an Aegis of Immortality. I'd be surprised if he used the Sunder. Oh, he does use the Sunder. Ken zipping away, trying to get back into the fountain. Eisen has to pop his ultimate. Manta style. Loses basically all of his HP. Oh, he does have his ultimate up available again. Dickroy, Aegis a minute left until it will be claimed by time itself. Now they get the catch onto Delul. Trying to find a hook angle, but instead they're going to catch In Your Dream. And they will drop the rock as well, but Rapido walking forward. FBZ came in with the save. They did find In Your Dream. Ken coming in once again, but Jickroy still has that Aegis of Immortality for 20 seconds. And by the time that's going to be claimed, he'll be available with his ultimate once more. Eisen doesn't have his ultimate available. Rapido TPing back into the fray. Has that Aghanim Scepter going still. Kiva's got the next item. Ken looking for an angle. Gets himself up onto the high ground. They are going to try to poison him, so they know exactly where he is. Ken going to follow the trail. A treasure trove of info. The Aegis finally claimed. Buybacks committed. But ultimately, it's Ivory that win that team fight, I guess?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This Terrorblade still has been unanswerable. 15,000 gold lead. You take a look at the yikes. Yeah, it's been a downhill spiral, and even you know, the time difference being like 10 minutes between these two sets of kills, goes to show how impossible it's been to get kills onto enemy cores and even supports in this game, even though Delul did a really good job finding the back line. 200 gold away from the Aghanim Scepter, and he'll be able to yoink 2 people at a time, as opposed to 1. They find Eisen, but he's got a blink. And a nullifier. And he doesn't have a courier anymore. But it's not Mega Creeps. And we can all agree that Mega Creeps would be terrible. In fact, they'd be so bad that this game would probably be over. So they have to defend the tower now. There is no GC of Immortality on Jikroi. And it's zip out. They find 2. They got the lull with the Aghanim Scepter as well. Now the Dawnbreaker ultimate is coming in. The hook is there, but it's on the wrong target. Dismember to follow through on the BKB for FFVZ, but the Warlock is dead to In Your Dream. The instant buyback, they didn't get the rock down. Now the zip in once again. Ken is trying to find an angle, but they don't have another capture. Ken has to go all the way back to the fountain. That's going to be Mega Creeps.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
They found the right 2 targets, but unfortunately Delul lived. The counter initiation, FBZ holding the non-ultimate until Rick got to his final target. It was the right play, but this Dawnbreaker is doing way too much work.
Radiant are scanning.
Excuse me, what item is this? Refresher? Oh. And Ken is... What? Ken's dead? Oh no. He died up there. Rapido getting chased in. FBZ pops the Dawnbreaker ultimate. They want to go in onto Rapido. But he does have Hook. Hold on. You might have wanted to save Hook. Goes in with the dismember, but he's going to get popped instantly. They did drop the rock. The BKB used by Rapido. If he hooked Drick, it would have pulled other people into the base. Oh, hold on. The Mega Creeps aren't here yet. There's still one Rax left. I apologize. Hook onto Delol. They're going to find the angle and the nullifier. There's there on top of him. Can they finally bring him down? No. The Manta Style is going to come out too late. Aizen is dead. He's going to have to buy back if he wants to win. If he wants to try winning. If he wants to do anything that's winning involved. Drick does not have an angle here. And now Jikroy's in the base. He wants vengeance. He wants blood. A double kill for Jikroy. Walking forward. A triple kill for him. The buyback is coming out from Rapido. And Aizen as well. They might have gone a little bit too deep here. Aizen does have the ultimate available. Just walking into the enemy team. The buybacks are coming through in full force. Ken is here finally. Now they're going to try to zip in. Ken finding an angle. They get the nullifier down on top of the Sapphire and the ultimate onto two, but the FBZ's ultimate's going to be a little bit off the mark. Rapido walking in, walking back out, but they finally get the Ken once again, and now they're going to be able to find Aizen once more. In your dream is really the problem. Refresher used on FBZ. Walking forward, casting all the spells. And just like that, Ivory are taken out of the upper bracket, and they're going to have to fight against Mongols. And just like that, the series is donezo. I don't think there was much you could do differently. A bit awkward, to say the least. And to be honest with you, I'm a little disappointed by Ivory. I think their drafts were just not, they didn't have enough punch. I think Aizen TA was the right idea, but the wrong execution. And I think this game, Aizen was just put into an impossible position to do anything. He received 106,000 damage and just couldn't deal any of it. Whereas Rekonix, Leshrak, in your dream, what a performance. And Jikroy, what a performance too. I mean, I have to give the overall MVP to Jikroy for being... Oh, no, you know what? I'm going to give it to Delol. I feel like this game, if you put Delol on another hero, like if he doesn't play as well as he does, I think there's a bigger chance that Ivory don't actually win the series. I really think the support play from Delol was really what put them over the edge in this entire series, Game 1 and Game 2. He just played so well on the Shadow Demon. And it's nice that he has a home, a place where he can be appreciated. With that being said, that's going to be it for us. It's 5 o'clock in the morning where I live. We are upon the precipice. Our last day will be tomorrow, I think, where we have the lower bracket final of Mongols versus Ivory, and then the winner will take on Rekonix in the upper bracket final. Tomorrow, same time, same place. It will be some great Dota. See you then.
crack it.